Hi guys, I am Lillian. So welcome to yet another tutorial. So today we're learning how to make this twist top and bell sleeve. So if you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get started. So you'll be needing about 1.5 yard of crepe. I will also be needing basic bodice, your full front basic bodice. If you don't know how to draft basic bodice, I will include the link on the description box. This is my half length. So I added extra 2 inches, so depending on what you want. So you'll be needing full front basic bodice. Also you'll be needing the basic sleeve pattern, the full length to your wrist, and then the back pattern. The first thing we are going to be doing, we are going to take the measurements of our back pattern. Okay, we are going to take the measurement from the armhole to the waistline. Okay, so you're just going to take the measurements of your back pattern like this. So this is 9 inches. So I'm going to go ahead to the front pattern and then measure 9 inches like this. So I'm going to measure 9 inches here. And then I will come over to the other side, do the same thing. Remember, our shoulder to waist for the front is not the same as shoulder to waist for the back. The front is always longer, so we need to make it equal for this particular style we are about to create, because we are not using side darts. Okay, so from this point we are going to add 1/2 inch as our hemming allowance. Then when you're done with it, just connect it. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, we are going to cut out this part. This is our hemming allowance. We're needing this part, so this is it. Okay, so when you're done, the next thing you're going to do, your front pattern, you're going to fold it into 2. Just want to get the center, fold it into 2 like this, like I did, then open it back. So I'm going to roll across to make it visible. So do the same thing. We want to use this as a guideline. Okay, so this is it. So when you're done doing this, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to go up by 2 inches from this point, like this. Okay, from the side go up by 2 inches, and then from the center front come down by 4.5 inches. Okay, so if you are the type that actually like your cleavage out, you can choose to come down to 5 or 5.5. It just depends on you. So but I'm going to use 4.5 because I don't want to show my cleavage. At least even if it's going to be out, it should be small. Like, I don't want everything out. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to connect it from your neckline, from the main neckline, not the allowance. Remember, this is 1/2 inches allowance. Just take it to the main neckline like this. So you're just going to connect it like this. Okay, so when you're done connecting, you're going to take it back to that 2 inches we came down with. Remember, we went up by 2 inches, so you're going to connect it back to that 2 inches like this. Okay, so when you're done doing that, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to add allowance to this line that we just created now. We're going to add our allowance like this. Okay, so whatever you want to hem yours with, you can use 1 inch, you can use 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use 1/2 inch. So when you're done, get your paper scissors and then cut out from this point. This is all that we'll be needing for the front. Okay, then for your back pattern, we're going to cut out interfacing for the back. So I'm just going to go in by 5 inch, okay, and then come down by 3 inches like this. So I'm just going to use this as my interfacing for the back. We're going to cut out on our fabric. So this is the front pattern. I actually place this on fold because we are cutting 2 pieces for the front. I'm going to secure it with pin. So we are going to go ahead and cut out. Okay, so this is it for the front. It's in 2 pieces, like I said. I'm just marking the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the back pattern also. But before doing that, let's trace out these points that we'll be using as interfacing. Okay, so when you're done doing that, secure your paper. Go ahead and cut out. This is it for the back pattern. So just use these pieces as the interfacing. Cutting it also 2 pieces. Okay, so this will serve as my back interfacing. Okay guys, so we'll be cutting out our sleeve now. So I fold my fabric into 2 and it's about 26 inches. What we are going to do now, we are going to fold our sleeve into 2 because we'll be needing the center line. Okay, just fold your sleeve into 2 equal half like this. Okay, so when you're done folding it, open it up. Our center line is visible now. I'm going to roll across. Okay, remember we are making a bell sleeve. So I want my fullness to start from 4 inches away from my elbow. This is my elbow, so I want my fullness to start from 4 inches away from my elbow. So I'm going to go out by 4 inches. Then I'm going to create a line like this. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to slash our pattern now from this point to this 4 inches. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so when you get to that point, okay, so you're also going to slash towards the side. Slash the other part also. Very close, but don't cut it off. Okay guys, so what we are doing next, we are going to secure this point. So just take your pin and then secure this point. Okay, so when you're done doing that, okay, so from this point, measure 3 inches from this center line. So measure 3 inches. So this is where my 3 inches stopped. So I'm going to take this pattern now to that point, okay, and then I'm going to pin it down right there. So pin it down, just secure it down. This is it. So I'm going to go over to this other pattern also. So I'm going to measure 3 inches also from this point. This is where my 3 inches stopped. Okay, this is 3 inches. So I'm going to place this pattern there and then secure with pin. Okay. So when you're done doing this, the next thing you are going to do, you are going to do the same thing here. Secure this point also with pin. I'm going to turn it over so that you'll be seeing it. So I just decided to turn it over like this so that you see what I'm doing. So just connect it from this point like this. Okay. You're just going to go ahead and then connect it from that point to this point like this. Okay, so just go ahead now and cut out. Okay, so this is it for this. So what we are going to do now, we are going to cut out our band to get your paper and then measure 3.5 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and connect it together like this. So what you are going to do now, your waist circumference, you are going to divide it by 2. My waist circumference is 27. 27 divided by 2 is 13.5 inches. So this is the 13.5 inch. So I'm going to mark it from this point. Okay, so I will add extra 2 inches as my allowance. Do the same thing, add whatever your waist circumference is divided by 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out like. So this is it for the band. We are cutting just one. I'm just going to secure it with pin and then cut out. Okay, so this is it for the band. So you're going to get your hemming gum. This is the back pattern. This is the wrong side. I actually mark out the wrong side and this is the right side. So what we are going to do now, remember we added 1/2 inch for hemming. So I want you to, in order not to have some longer than some, you just have to measure. Okay, just mark out the ½ inch. So then I'm going to fold it into 2. Then I'm going to place it like this and then fold. I don't want to iron directly on it, so I'm going to use paper and then iron. So this is it. So this is the second part. So we are going to get to the front pattern now. That's the front. This is the second part. We are going to hem also. Mark your ½ inches. Okay, so when you're done marking out, I'm just going to take my hemming gum and measure like this. Okay, so when I'm done with that, I'm going to fold just like we've been doing before. Just fold it in. When I'm done doing this, and then iron out that point. Okay, so this is it after hemming. So I'm going to go ahead and then hem the down also. So do the same thing after hemming this point, hem the down also. So this is it. This is it after hemming. Okay, so this is it for hemming. This is the back. Remember, we also hem the back by ½ inch. Okay guys, so the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to join. Okay, so this is it. So what we are going to do now, we are going to take this edge and then bring it back to the armhole side like this. Okay, just take it back like this. This is what I did. Okay, this is the armhole side. So I took the edge and then take it back like this, just like I'm folding it into 2. The next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to pin it down. After pinning it down, you're going to measure ½ inch out from this point. Okay. So what we are going to do now, we are going to stitch along this ½ inch that we hemmed with. Okay, so just stitch like you are top stitching on this ½ inch that we hem with. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so you are going to stop at exact this ½ inch. So this is it. Okay, I left out ½ inch here. What we are going to do now, we are going to get this. Remember, our front pattern is actually 2. So get the second one. So this is it. So what we are going to do now, we are going to pass this second one from this edge. We are going to pass it through that ½ inch we left out here. Okay, so just pass it through that ½ inches like this. Okay, so when you're done pushing it out, this is it. This is my second part. So I pass this second one through that ½ inches and I'm going to bring it out. So I'm going to turn it over like this. Just like the way we join this other side, we are going to turn it over and then join, just like we are top stitching the ½ inch you hem with. So let's pin it down. Okay, so when you're done pinning, we are going to stitch now. Need to stop here. Okay guys, so this is it after stitching. So all you need to do is just to turn it over. Okay, so after stitching, this is what we have. Okay, so the style that you're seeing now that I have, you know, it has band here. So what we are going to do now, you're going to get your band. So this is my band. So we are going to sew our band now by ½ inch. When you're done stitching, trim these excesses off. Okay, so when you're done trimming, you're just going to go ahead and then turn. Okay, so when you're done turning, what you are going to do now, you are going to take this band to your ironing board and then iron out. So this is it after ironing. Get your band. That's the front now. You're going to pin it. Yes. So what we are going to do now, we are going to stitch it. So we are going to stitch here and then stitch here. So this is it. This is what you'll be having when you're done stitching. Okay. This is the inside. Then get your interfacing for the back. Remember, we cut that interfacing for the back. We're going to sew it on the right side, the neckline. So we're going to go ahead now and stitch. So when you're done stitching this, you're just going to turn it over like this. Go to your ironing board and then iron. So I will do the same thing for the second part. After ironing, this is it. This is the back. So I ironed the interfacing. So this is what we have. This is it. Okay. So we are going to join it shoulder to shoulder with the front part. So we are going to take the back shoulder and then join it right side facing the right side, the normal way of joining. So just join by 1/2 inch. This is just the normal way of joining shoulder to shoulder, so there is no difference. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to go ahead now. This other side, this other shoulder, I'm also going to join it. We already joined shoulder to shoulder. We're going to join it at the side by 1 inch. Remember, we added 1 inch as our allowance. So these are armholes. So we are going to join it by 1 inch at the side. The rest of the process is just your normal way of sewing. Okay guys, so this is it. So we are going to do next now. We are going to fix our zip. Okay guys, so after attaching my zip, this is it. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so there's the back. So there's the inside. Okay, so there's the inside. Okay guys, so the next thing we are going to do, you're going to get your sleeve. Okay, this is my sleeve now. So we are going to stitch. We are going to stitch here by 1/2 inch because we are going to pass elastic through it. Okay. So make sure you leave out the space for elastic band. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch both sides and I will show us the outcome. So after stitching by 1/2 inch, this is it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my elastic and then pass it through the 1/2 inch. Okay, so when you're done, all you need to do the same thing with the second sleeve. Okay, so when you're done, attach your sleeve the normal way of attaching sleeve. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to wear this and then show us the finished look. Hi guys, here comes the final look. So if you recreate this, please tag me on Instagram at Dress to Fit by Lillian so I can repost your pictures. See you on my next videos. Thank you.